Today, let's talk about cork. Cork is a subject that I have resisted for quite some time. I was fascinated by it. You know, it looks so fantastic, and the wearability that it brings to a bag is undeniable. But I was concerned about the heft. I was concerned about the layering issues. In many of our bags, we already have layers, which are certainly workable with cottons, but you start adding a thick cork like this with more heft. Let's face it, it doesn't have the give that fabrics do, and I was concerned about it. But a company called me right before Quilt Market and asked me if I'd be willing to try their new cork. I thought, well, what could be new about it? But you know what? It's way different. They sent me a sample, and I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to give it a try, and I did. On our gateway design, I was completely thrilled with the results. It was amazing. My big question at the time was, would it wear around corners, edges? Would I see wear and tear, cracking, you know, that kind of thing from dryness? Would I need to, was there any special considerations in using it? And there is. It's not fabric. Keep in mind, it doesn't have the give of fabric. It will not stretch. You can't press it except with a pressing cloth. Be careful of that. You know, there's some, it shows pinholes that don't heal the way fabric will. So there's, if you're interested in more of the special tips about using cork, and I've delineated that on our website, go to my tips and tricks section, and you'll find posts there concerning, I will give you some ideas of some things you should need to keep in mind when using cork on our designs. But I was totally thrilled with how it worked on this. It came out beautifully. I even went to the to the extent of using it on the back as well as the front, which gave it the double layer in the corners, and I wanted to see, would that work? And you know what? It did. It turned beautifully. I had no problems using this cork, really. If you're interested in using it, and again, I don't know if the thicker cork would work. I got a feeling it would if you perhaps limited yourself to using it only on the front as opposed to the back. The big difference I saw, and the big area that I would be careful of, is on the adjustable strap for the gateway, for example, where the slide actually has to slide against the cork. And I didn't like the way that worked at all. It'll slide, but you gotta really, really push, and it's not all that easy, and it's not particularly fun to change the length of your strap. For me, if I was gonna have a slide on the cork itself, I would definitely use a fabric there. You know, I probably would have gone with black or something that would have knit, you know. It's beautiful to have a strap like that, and I'm not saying you can't. I've got mine, but boy, I tend to leave the strap right where it is, and I don't make any adjustments on it because it's really not pleasant to do that. That's the one place I noticed that the cork was perhaps a detriment. Just so you know, on this particular strap, the slide is on the webbing. It's not on the strap pad. So you get and that's another way you could go if you want to go ahead and off-road a bit and make your strap a little bit different for something like the gateway or the sling along. At either rate, we do sell this cork. I've got it in one color right now because I figured if people want to duplicate this look, we've got it. This looks like a fat quarter. It is not. It's 18 by 15 inches. It's enough to make the entire front of this bag and the strap. Keep in mind, you got to lay your pattern piece for your strap first, because it's going to eat up the most fabric, and from there you can place your other pieces reasonably well. If you lay those pieces first, you're probably not going to have the length you need in one continuous piece for the strap. That's the one thing. If you want to make your back the same as the front, I've done it both ways. Lots of times I'll put fabric on the back. But if you want to do that, you're going to need a second piece, just so you know. You can't, there's not enough here to do both the front and the back. So there you go. We've got this for sale on our website now. Depending on the success of it, we may start carrying more. I don't know. At the least, I've got a limited number of pieces that this look could be duplicated if you so like. Again, there's more tips and tricks on our website for successfully working with cork, because it is different than fabric, and you can look for that there. Go to the goodies section at the top of our website, hover over that, and you'll see the tips and tricks come up, and there's a whole host of blog posts, one of which will deal with cork. Alrighty, have a great day, and we'll talk more about this new design in a future post.